안녕하세요. Limpeh, Singapore 남자입니다. 네, today I am at the beautiful Myeongdong Cathedral of Seoul, which is the cathedral that Pope Francis came to conduct his service a few years ago. So today's topic is a continuation from my last video of how to make Korean friends, the framework. Okay, so today I'm going into the first step of that framework called the introduction. Now if you have not watched that first video, please watch that video first before watching this video. I'll link the video, the link to the last video in the description below, right? Okay, so you've managed to come to some kind of an event where you manage to meet some new Korean people, and you go up, and that's when you initiate the introduction stage. Now at this stage, very important thing is this: you will always keep good social distance and practice highest manner. So if you're here in Korea, I mean, again, I'm talking about making Korean friends in Korea, not outside of Korea, okay? And applicable mainly to Koreans who have never met or have foreign friends, and that's like the most of them, alright? Okay, so the moment you come up to them, okay, you will speak only in 존댓말, which is the formal form, okay? Never 반말, okay? Never. I know, like as foreigners, including Singaporeans, the moment we meet a new friend, we will just speak casually and try to break the wall, break the ice, right? No, you never do that in Korea. You never break the wall, never break the ice at the introduction stage. You want to always keep the highest respect level and the highest respect distance. So formal handshakes, 존댓말, okay, this is very important. Now this also applies when you're obviously of an age older than these people you're meeting, okay? Even if you're older, you at this stage, you are not to express your age superiority. You need to still use your formal 존댓말 at this stage, because at this stage is when everybody is nice to everybody, okay? This is very important. Okay, this is number one about the introduction phase. Now second thing is this: a lot of us foreigners, the moment we meet a new friend, what do? Whip out our mobile phone and then start to add each other on your WhatsApp, on your Facebook, on your Kakao, on your whatnot, right? What WeChat or what, right? Now, in Korea, when you meet a new friend for the first time at the introduction stage, you never ever do that, because now at this stage, okay, of introduction, you may see, to a Korean person, like, they may or may not want to make you as a friend. Frankly speaking, they may be put in a position where they are just being introduced to you. They don't really have a choice about it. Like, or in some kind of event, they don't have a choice about it. They have to know you. They have to talk to you. But that doesn't mean they're ready to be your so-called friend. That doesn't mean they're ready to show you the whole life, everything they have posted on their Facebook, on their Kakao and stuff like that. Doesn't mean they're comfortable to do that with you. So a lot of foreigners, they actually get very confused. Like, why did he or she refuse to add me on Kakao and stuff like that? Because they're not ready to. You're not there yet. Okay, so tip number 2 is this: don't be too eager to bring out your cell phone and start to add Kakao or Facebook and stuff like that, because not all Koreans are comfortable with that. Some are, and most are not, okay, with a first-time friend. So if you don't want to, like, embarrass the person or put yourself in a very awkward position, no more position where you're being rejected, or that the person find it hard to reject you and everybody is awkward, okay, don't do that yet, okay? You will come to that phase if you guys indeed have enough commonality to become real friends, which comes to the point at this stage, like the introduction stage, you're not real friends with that person yet, okay? You're not friends yet. You're just an acquaintance, just someone you meet at this place where sometimes you don't have a choice, you just have to talk to, okay? That's just about it for this phase here, right? That's the introduction phase. Now, usually if it is a business setting, you can start to exchange name card. Everybody will exchange name card during the introduction phase, okay? Now, that will be okay. It's okay to exchange name card, but not whip out on your phone and start to add each other yet, unless unless, okay, I would say unless the Korean person initiates this, then you're quite safe. Because some, like I said, some Koreans are actually comfortable doing that. Maybe because they have had foreign friends before, or they have lived overseas before, or that they are generally very friendly or very open about their life. They're comfortable doing that. Okay, now you need to understand that not all Koreans are like that, and not all will be comfortable doing that. So the tip here is this: wait for them to initiate. Wait for them to bring out the phone and add you. Otherwise, if you do that first, okay, you may run into that very oseke, very changpie situation where you're either rejected or the person find it hard to reject you and everybody's awkward, right? Okay. Now at this stage, you want to keep all your conversations very social, okay? That means you don't want to be too sensitive. But that said, okay, Koreans do tend to ask foreigners very sensitive questions, okay? But that's because of the culture, and that's because they need to position you. They need to understand from this information how to get along with you, what level to get along with you at, and whether or not is it possible to have you as a real friend. Okay, so they'll ask questions like, are you married? Okay, like right off the bat. Now that's why don't be surprised if a Korean guy or even a Korean girl asks you if you're a guy, if a Korean guy asks you if you're a girl, and okay, let me study. Okay, don't be surprised if you're a girl and a Korean guy just right off the bat after shaking hand asks you if you're married or if you have a boyfriend. This doesn't mean he or she is interested in you, please. Because a lot of us foreigners we tend to think that way, right? But no, it's just their way of knowing. Okay, Can I ask this person out for dinner, like for a very social thing? Until what time could it be possible, and things like that? Because based on whether or not you're married or what, okay, they will start to understand. Okay, I can have you in which part of my life? Okay, this is very important information. Okay, so don't be misunderstood, right? Now, second thing is this: a lot of them will tend to ask you for your age. Now, most of the time, your age can be quite obvious, so they don't really ask. Like amongst Koreans, they don't ask a lot because to them they could pretty much gauge what each other's age range is like, so it's fine, you know. But the thing is when it's not that clear, they will ask. Now I know like some of us foreigners, like especially like Singaporean girls, gets very kind of annoyed when people ask them about their age, right? But it's really a necessity here in Korean culture for them to understand how to treat you, how to talk to you, right? And then thirdly, they'll always ask you what you do. This is the same in Japan, this is the same in Korea. Oskoto, they will in Japan oskoto, in Korea they will 뭐 하시는 거예요? 뭐 하시는 분이세요? So that means basically what do you do for a living? And to them, it's very important. You know why? Because let's remember, in Korea, a few status is very important. Marriage status, okay? So that's in the first question. Second, age status, okay? This is very important, which is the second question. And social status, which is the third question. What do you do for a living? Based on your social status, they will have to treat you different as well. If you are of a different class or what, then they will know, okay, I can ask you out for certain things, or I can't ask you for certain things. Can I drink with you till I drop? I can't do that, you know, things like that. They have to consider how to treat you. It's actually quite complex, right? It's not that simple here in Korea to make friends. So yeah, so this is the first phase. You exchange these pleasantries and stuff, and then if everything goes well, and if that event that you met the person, it's an event that actually can lead on to, you know, like a dinner, then they'll probably ask you for dinner, and then that will go until stage 2. But there are a lot of events that kind of never go to that part, right? Like let's say if you go to an exhibition and you just meet someone and someone introduces you to someone, you can like all of a sudden, hey, you know, let's screw the exhibition, let's go for dinner, right? You can't do that. Okay, so basically, there are times you simply cannot get onto stage 2 right away, and in those cases, okay, you have to wait. Wait for what? First, if the person initiates the exchange of kakao with you, then you wait for. Then you know from there you will be able to carry it further. Secondly, if you have the name card, you will carry it further. Third, if he does none of this, then most likely that person is not very ready to have you as a full-fledged friend, or that you have this other friend in between who can ask you out anyway, so he will correspond with you through that friend. Like let's say I'm introduced to this new Korean friend by this guy. Then I will say, next time let's meet for dinner, and I'll ask this guy to ask you when I do. Yeah, it works like that. Okay. And if none of these things happen, then too bad. You guys just have too little commonality to form a real friendship. In Korea, friendship requires a lot of commonality. If you have nothing in common, nothing like if you don't share certain like if you're not classmates, if you're not working in the same industry or same company, if you're not colleagues and stuff like that, it can be hard to make friends because you have too little commonality, and people need to make time for you, and time is what a lot of people here in Korea doesn't have, right? That's why it's very practical, right? Okay, bear in mind that these tips and this framework applies mainly to what first, Koreans who have no foreigner friends, who live in Korea, who has never lived overseas, so don't know our foreigner style. Okay, so you need to apply this. And secondly, you're making these friends from outside of your professional circle, which means if you're a student, you're meeting friends outside of the school. If you work, you're meeting friends outside of your colleagues, right? So it's just maybe a random social event or even a language exchange event. You will have to apply these principles, right? Okay, so yeah, that's stage 1 tip for the introduction phase for you guys. I hope it helped you in being able to make Korean friends better. So I will see you guys in the stage 2 tip. 안녕, 사랑해.